Episode 2 of Helluva Boss has been finally released a few days ago, so you know what's gonna go down. If not, then I will go through the episode and point out the mistakes that I found in the animation. There is probably no point in me saying this, but just because I point out the mistakes in the animation, that doesn't mean I don't like the cartoon or even I hate it. Quite the opposite. I wouldn't be spending so much time, frame by frame, finding mistakes if I didn't like it. The animation is great, effects are amazing, voice acting is astonishing, just everything is so good! I legitimately had a problem finding mistakes this time. I watched it a couple of times and I found maybe 2 or 3. Then I went frame by frame just so I can find something more to grip on. And I did. But don't take it as me nitpicking. I mean, technically it is because it's just for a couple of frames. But you know what I mean. One thing that I have accepted, and probably will not count, but I'll still mention sometimes, is the eyes and eye lines clipping with the hair. Because that is just everywhere, okay? You can't avoid it really. Otherwise, the animation probably look dumb. Without further ado, grab a massive rock or a grain of salt and hopefully enjoy the video.
Vivia's calling us, Stella.
I swear to heck, doesn't matter how hard I try or how many times I replay this, he still says Olivia, even though their daughter's name is Octavia. Also, Stolas' hand has some opacity issues with the blanket.
I had a dream. A really bad dream.
A nightmare.
Grandma Nazi. In this shot, Octavia has tears in her eyes, but in the previous one, she didn't. Shouldn't he continue to leave footsteps? This way they just slowly fade away. I'm not sure if they are actually in space or this is just a visual representation, but I do know there is no wind in space and they would probably suffocate and freeze to death.
You slept with an imp in our fucking bed!
It wasn't expected. I didn't have time to go to a motel.
A motel? Like a fucking plebeian?
I'm not sure what she's more angry about. The fact that he cheated on her in their own bed with an imp, or that they didn't go into a motel like a plebeian. Man, poor guy, he's just trying to do his job. During the whole time when they're talking in the kitchen, the box of cereal constantly changes places or is rotated differently to previous shots. At first I thought it was a hair or dust or something on my monitor, but turns out there's some strange lines on Octavia's face. This is a massive stretch, but in this frame Stolas' face extends to its cheek. In this frame Stolas' smile extends over his cheek. I know I cry and bitch and moan a lot about hair and eye clipping, but in this case it is a tad bit too much. Having strands of hair straight up behind an eye? No.
I really want you, sir. Me too. Let's three-way.
Bruh. Yet again, more hair clipping with eyes. The crown constantly changes in size depending on what shot it is in.
Eminem, get in here. We're going to Lululand.
No matter how many times I watch or replay this, I can only hear him say Eminem and nothing else.
Hey, editing me here. Sorry to interrupt like this, but later on while I was falling asleep, hours and hours later, it hit me. Blitz is not saying Eminem, he's saying M and M, as in Millie and Moxie. I thought I'd just throw that out there.
Okay, so, I don't know what's up with Stolas, but whenever he has a hat on his head, his upper pair of eyes seem to do something. I'm not even sure how I would call that. But then again, Angel has retractable arms, so I don't know what's up with this scene. But for some reason, it feels like Blitz is way too short. I know he's an imp, but it just feels and looks weird or off. Most of the time you don't really see him full body, so it could be just that. And also Stolas is abnormally tall, so that skews the perspective as well. Blitz's hand insignias have a white or grey background, sometimes even red, even though it's supposed to be yellow. Initially I thought it could be because of the outside light, but no. During the whole episode they switch colors. Also, the eyes on Stolas' hat change position throughout the episode. Sometimes they're looking left, sometimes they're looking right. In this shot, Moxie is holding pill bottles in both of his hands, but in the next one he's just straight up chucking all sorts of things out of his fanny pack. In the whole episode, all three of them have such type of sunglasses which don't have those thingies behind your ears. Yet in this shot, Millie suddenly has those thingies that go behind your ears. The little shits got what they deserve. Also, dude is waving at the camera, breaking the fourth wall. In these few scenes, there are just seemingly random black dots, either on the character or in the background. At first, I legitimately thought that I had a dead pixel, and I almost stabbed someone, I swear to God. And also, there is a random line on Blitz's horn in this frame. Hat/headlines on Octavia are going a little too far. Marking on Stolas' shirt on his left arm are going too far as well, and the shirt is visible through his chest feathers. Random color glitch on the apple on Stolas' chest, twice, and Stolas' back lines clip into his arm.
Listen to your hoe, Mox.
How about I take the first watch while you two have a little fun?
Wait, weren't they just outside of a shop window? Then they magically teleported into the middle of the walk path. The pavement tiles and the wall layer are clipping through Millie's and Moxie's layer. Blitz doesn't have an earpiece. He doesn't even have any ears. What is he doing? There is like a 1 pixel gap on both of the sides in this shot. Some weird clipping of Blitz's finger and the flames on his rifle. Stolas' tail is a little bit weird over here. Octavia's eye is just straight up over her hair. Just no. Stop.
Hey, I am not a day hooker. What, I just said I'm not one, prude.
Even though we can hear the kid munching on the pacifier, we don't actually see it move. There is something very wrong going on with Stolas' body. I'm not sure if that balloon outline should be there. Octavia does not give two shits that her father is about to get stabbed, but then again, no one really dies in hell unless harmed with angelic weapons. She is manspreading. There are gonna be a few instances where Fizzo's light thingies lines on his arms and neck are gonna be either missing or clipping or just straight up doing weird things, so I'm just gonna nuke it right now and we'll call it a day. Fizz is either a greedy clown who doesn't care about anything else but money and his own well-being, hence the $sign, or he's just a big fan of Slipknot. We can see the stage lights in this shot, but later on when he gets back to the stage, the lights are missing, and then they pop up back again with the other stage. Can we have FNAF? No, we have FNAF at home. FNAF at home. The kid second to left is the same kid who was at the bottom in a previous shot. Also, what I noticed while editing this video is that Pizzarolli's tongue changes colors. Sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's even something darker, and sometimes it even has lines on it.
Has a dream, I'm here to tell. He's here to tell.
About a wonderful, fantastic new hotel?
About a magical, fantastic place called Lululand.
Oh, there is some kind of light source emitting from the middle of the screen from essentially nothing.
Step right up and win a thing.
Oh, you like that thing?
Yes! I don't really know what that thing is, but I want that thing!
That's a completely different thing he was showing off or hinting at. Sorry, dang. Like previously with Stolas' body, something very wrong and weird is going on with Moxie's tail. Millie is about to die from happiness, but in the next shot, she's just smiling. The projectile doesn't have any holes in it anymore. He's giving him just a plain old paper note. Doesn't look like any money. Also, the whole desk/line is doing some weird things. Millie is weirdly clipping and then it seems like it's moving and it's alive. Both of them are suddenly standing. I understand that Octavia was about to run away, but Stolas was still sitting down the shot before. Blitz's bolt action mechanism changes from side to side in some shots during the whole episode.
Is that lit so my sensors spot a bear?
This might be a slight stretch, but Fizz just now notices Blitz. Oh, even though Blitz literally pointed the gun at him when he started singing. Blitz's rifle is suddenly missing from his back. I just love Fizz's little mocking dance he does. It's so good. For some reason it feels like it's so familiar, as if I've seen it somewhere. but I just can't put my finger on where could I've seen it. I don't know what to call them, but the rings around his wrists and neck are fully yellow, even though previously only the outer layer was yellow.
People love me. Does anybody love you?
No,
That is a false statement. What about Stolus, my dude?
but I'm really good with guns now. Dance, bitch!
Now, it's a sniper rifle, but suddenly it's full auto? Well, it could have been modified in a way so he has a simple fire mode switch on that thing. Sorry, thang. Also, the magazine he put in the thang is way smaller than the magazine hole, but it could be because of the smaller bullets we let it go full auto. But then again, no, I don't think that's the case. The handle on the card seems to have some opacity issues. Fizzo's eye outlines seem to be in front of the fire and not on his face. Hold up. 100 souls? Are souls currency in hell? I mean, I guess they won't use dollars, pounds, or euro or whatever, but souls? I hope we get an explanation later on. Also, why is Fizz on them? Is he royalty in hell? Or are they just exchangeable currency to use in the park? What is the conversion rate to euros? So many questions. And again, the money has nothing on it, just plain old green paper. I question why Blitz has a flintlock pistol during the pilot episode, but now they finally did it justice. Blitz cocked the gun the right way, it had a nice muzzle flash, and the sound checks out too. But flintlocks usually shoot metal balls instead of a bullet. However, it could have been modified. They have redeemed themselves. I am proud. Also, it's a bullet with a casing and Blitz's finger is not on the trigger anymore, which I don't see the reason why it shouldn't be. Also, the loading stick on the flintlock pistol is present in this shot but not in the previous one.
God damn it, Nathan! You ruined another bloody photo! Why were you even born?
Well, we can see who the favorite child is. Also, the little plushie has a small tear. Also, there is no way that plushie would land on his head like that, the way it was flying there.
I think I'm supposed to be bodyguarded right now.
I swear to God, I mean Lucifer, the sound of that gun is the sound of the Glock from CSGO. Don't even try to change my mind. The trajectory of the bullet was from the bottom to up. Yet, Melee is basically standing above Stolus. Also, they have some random guns, but later on Moxie has a M1911. Also, Melee doesn't have torn pantaloons like she normally has.
What kind of fool?
The everything is now on fire kind.
Dude, if he loves Blitz so much, at least acknowledge what they're saying. Since they are basically his closest friends, don't just walk away without saying anything. Those tanks don't have any wheels or something.
Octavia.
Aww. Again, hair behind an eye. Stolus's feather tips seem to be in front of the cart, even though they are sitting inside of it. Octavia's hair line, literally, is clipping to or in front of Stolus. The knife the imp is holding does not resemble the one he had before. Also, this is more of a dagger than a knife. So he didn't need any bodyguards at all? I mean, it was probably because he wanted to hang out with Blitz, and also he himself is a high-ranking demon that is also royalty. So it's not really a no-brainer what he just did. How the heck did a dragon, or well, rather a wyvern, appear in Heck? I would love to know more. Was it born there? Did someone die and suddenly become a wyvern? I need answers. And last but not least, on what better way to end on than hair clipping through an eye, or vice versa. And that was Mistakes of Helluva Boss episode 2. Again, I legitimately had a problem finding mistakes. So most of those, 90% of those are literally like 3, 4, maybe even 5 frames. This video is probably gonna get a lot of dislikes like the previous ones, but that is something that is inevitable, I guess, like Thanos. So again, thank you for watching. You take care. Peace.